and I want to help you understand how to actually increase or improve your energy levels and just feel better. Welcome back to another Hock bot session. Okay, in this live, I'm actually going to be talking about increasing energy. So actually a lot of you have been reaching out, or this is actually what I help my clients with as well. Basically, you've been kind of maybe in a slump, or if not, maybe you've been working a lot and you realize that your energy levels just haven't been where it was in the past. So it's really more a matter of not just looking good. You want to increase your energy, you do want to feel better. So this is actually some things that we help our clients with, and I want to help you understand how to actually increase or improve your energy levels and just feel better overall. Alright, so how do you increase energy? And we are talking about something that is more like natural, sustainable energy rather than just like a spike and then you just lose everything. Hint hint, that's probably like pre-workouts and coffees, which has its place. But like if you want to increase your energy levels sustainably, the first thing you've got to realize is you have to actually give a demand, right, for you to have the energy. So, and it's like if you learn economics or whatever you learn, right, like energy is always, not just energy, but everything you do, there's always a demand and supply. If you want to have more of a supply, if you want to have more energy, you want to have a demand, right? So how does that correlate to physical energy, right? That all comes down to you actually increasing your physical activity levels. All right, it doesn't have to be like a full-blown workout. You don't have to be running cardio, tons of it and stuff like that, which is what I'll get to later. But you do want to provide some form of demand so that your body knows that, okay, the demand is there, I'm gonna try to supply it, and that is how your energy rises. So if you've kind of been in a slump, you've not been working out, you've not been really doing much at all with the whole COVID situation, most of us are pretty much just sitting down, not doing much. That explains why your energy level goes down. Okay, even though you may look the same on the outside, all right, for most of us it's not going to be the case. But even if you may look the same from the outside, your energy level will drop because of the fact that the demand dropped, right? You probably aren't like expending as much energy in the form of just walking to your office, just walking as commute. All these are all activity levels that were the demand in the past, right, pre-COVID. And then now with the whole COVID situation, the only distance you're walking is probably from your desk to your fridge and then you're done, right? So anyway, if you want to increase your energy level, you have to give your body a reason, which is in the form of a demand. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is actually an appropriate stress. Okay, what do I mean by this? Alright, so stress is also kind of like the reason for the demand, but appropriate level of stress is really important. A lot of you are kind of just like, okay, I want to lose weight, I want to lose fat, and then you straight away jump in, go, all hell breaks loose, and then you just go really hard and really intensely, and that, okay, could work for the short term. But in our program, and this is what we actually encourage our members, well, I mean, we kind of program this for them, but we meet them at where they are starting off from, and this is what you should be doing as well. Start off from where you are currently, right? I don't care whether you're athletes in the past or you used to do like crazy tons of workouts in the past. It doesn't matter, because right now what's important is actually your current state. So you want to look at your state right now, your current state, and apply an appropriate amount of stress, right? So work out according to where you are currently at, okay, and have a workout program that suits that, right? So if you didn't used to do anything in the past couple of months, you probably don't want to hit a workout that's too intense, or that's just expends a ton of energy, right? Or you may not want to be lifting. If you can still lift weights, lifting as heavy as before, right? You do want to start and meet at where you're at, okay, and then appropriate amount of stress is placed there in terms of your workouts. Okay, this is important because firstly, if it's too much, at the start, like I said, you're going to do pretty okay. But once you start to get to a point where the stress is just too much, and it relates to the third point, what happens is your body starts to actually pay more focus on the third point, okay, but it starts to try its best to cope with the stress, so much so that your energy level starts to drop because it doesn't have enough energy to give you an abundance of. Alright, so one of the key things here is usually when people start, they go really crazy, and what happens is, yes, you increase your energy levels at the start, but because your body starts to crash from you doing too much, what happens then is your energy starts to drop, and it relates to the third point, which I will get to. But of course, another thing to note is you might be under stressing it, right? So what I mean by that is your energy level will not rise if there isn't a good amount of demand, right? So think of it this way: if you're just kind of walking like 10 minutes around the block, okay, for sure your energy level might increase slightly, but once your body gets used to it, right, basically you're not really giving a good amount of stress anymore, what's going to happen is your energy levels will have no reason to increase further, or even actually what we do notice is your energy level might drop a bit because you start to adapt to the stress, right, the stimulus. So it's really important to have an appropriate amount of stress according to your level. Alright, so if you're doing this on your own, you do want to explore a bit, see what makes sense for you. Typically in our programs, what we do is we take a look at how often you've been working out prior to the program. So that's one thing you want to take note of, and then judge based on that, and of course the certain other factors, and we build off step by step from there. Okay, so that's the second thing, you do want to consider that. And the third thing here is actually recovery. Alright, so recovery is really important, and this is why I said the second and third one is really correlates, especially if the amount of stress you're putting on yourself actually is really, really high. If you don't have enough recovery, what our body does then is, first thing, inflammation, that all hell breaks loose. But if you have a ton of stress, your body works on trying to recover so hard that it starts to really slow down a lot of different processes so that you can keep up with the recovery, right? Because if you are stressing, let's say physically, certain parts of your muscle groups or whatever energy levels dip so low and your body is trying to up-regulate it, what's going to happen is if you don't have enough recovery, your body starts to slow down the other processes that are not so important. Okay, and by the way, fat burning is not an important process, right? Because what it's trying to do is it's trying to conserve you. And I think this is one of the reasons also why, not just in terms of having an experience of lowering of your energy levels, why some of you may not be able to lose fat as much, is because you don't give yourself enough recovery so that your body can focus on optimizing processes that may not be super necessary, like fat loss. Okay, so that is actually really important. If you want to increase your energy levels, you have to focus equally, if not more, on recovery, right? When you have appropriate amount of stress, okay, and there's a demand, which is the appropriate demand, couple that with recovery, okay, and this recovery comes in a lot of form, right? Better sleep, even just mentally going on walks and just taking a break, that helps to regulate your parasympathetic nervous system. That is a huge word, but you've got to know that recovery comes in many forms. It doesn't mean just lying down there and not doing anything. Okay, that could be one, but recovery is important. You want to give ample time between your stresses, right, your workouts, and this is what we really look for in our programs, because for our members, some of them, sometimes are overzealous. You just don't have proper recovery, and it doesn't help with so many of the other processes, but also in terms of recovery in your workouts, right? I think a lot of times you're just pushing yourself really hard in the workout, and you don't realize that fatigue is not the same as stimulating what you need to stimulate in order for you to grow muscles, for example, gain strength, and all the other stuff. Alright, so recovery is really important as well. So if you do want to increase your energy, and I think here's the most important word, sustainably. Okay, I think a lot of people are just like really going for short-term right, results, progress. They don't really, they overlook how much better you can feel in the long term if you focus on increasing this energy sustainably. It doesn't have to be slow, but you do want to make sure that everything is pretty much appropriate. Okay, so yeah, that is basically how you increase energy. So as a recap, once again, you do want to give it a demand, right? If you have not been doing much physical activities, introducing this demand is probably going to help you feel better already. Second thing is appropriate stress. So stress and demand, kind of same thing, but stress, I would term it as not just a demand, but kind of like how it works with different parts of your body processes, right? So appropriate amount of stress, and of course, this is the key thing here that I think a lot of us are missing out on, driving a lot of us crazy, is the recovery. So if you want to recover, if you want to increase your energy level sustainably, recovery plays an important role. And some of you might ask, so Hock, what is the percentage here? Should you focus on 50% recovery, 30% stress? Here's the thing, right? That's just bullshit. You have to focus 100% on recovery, 100% on appropriate stress. Okay, like those people who just want to break down everything to percentages is like, I don't know, they're probably just trying to tell you that you can just be lazy at one and stuff like that. Of course, you know, at the end of the day, you want to focus on one first and then see how you feel and then focus on another. Okay, typically, yeah, or you could just get some help to see what you can focus on. Alright, yeah, so anyway, that is basically how you increase your energy levels sustainably, okay, and you continue to increase the energy levels. I think that's the most important one. Okay, typically when you stall, you kind of fall back, right? Alright, appreciate all of you from hopping on. Let me know if you have any questions. Basically, that is how, if you are feeling lethargic, you don't feel as much energy as you used to have before, even if you look the exact same on the outside, this is definitely something that you want to think about and want to work on. Alright, so good stuff. I hope this helps. Of course, if you need any help and you want a bit more direction, reach out to me. You know, the coaching program is there if you want, or if that is a good fit for you. But just always remember, at the end of the day, you do want to try things and explore stuff, right? Even if you're doing it on your own, even if you find a coach, you do want to explore and see what works for you. Okay, typically you may think that whatever you have right now used to work, it used to work fine, that's awesome, but sometimes you got to ask yourself, like, what could be better? You don't always have to ask that, but sometimes just trying new things can help you to realize that there could be something better for you at this stage of your life that works better for you. Okay, and I'm not just talking about my program, in general in life, just ask yourself, right, the potential of what you could achieve versus the fear of just trying something new. Okay, anyway, Hock signing off here, and I hope to see you in the next Hock Bot